Good morning, everyone. This is the Utah Tech football Lance Anderson Tuesday press conference ahead of this Saturday's road game at North Alabama. Kickoff at Brayley Stadium in Florence will be at 3 o'clock Mountain Time, 4 o'clock Central Time. Game will be streamed live on ESPN Plus, which will be a UNA produced broadcast. Game will also be on the radio on the Fan Sports Network, 99.5 FM of Rod Zettel, providing the play-by-play coverage. The Trailblazer football pregame show will be on Trailblazer Sports Vision, streaming starting at 2 p.m. Mountain Time, live on YouTube. A couple of notes from last Saturday's game against Abilene Christian. Utah Tech's offense tallied a season high 508 yards of total offense in the game. First time that the Trailblazers had reached the 500-yard mark in total offense this season, and it's the first time since the Trailblazers put up 507 yards last year in a road game, coincidentally at North Alabama. Richard Sr. Kick return Shamar Garrett rocked up 121 yards of all-purpose yards, highlighted by a 33-yard punt return in the second quarter to set up a Trailblazer field goal. And freshman linebacker Rick Muai leads the team with 3.5 sacks, all of which have come over his last 4 games. And with that, we will open up with Coach Anderson's opening comments and then questions for the coach.
So if we go back to Saturday night against Abilene Christian, I mean, there were some steps forward in a lot of ways, but we also had some steps backward. On offense, I thought it was a positive with the number of yards that we generated, some of the points that we were able to put on the board. It's just we have to be more consistent from start to finish. Too much of that came later in the game when the game was maybe already decided, but there were a lot of positives that we can build on. Defensively, some of the positives from UC Davis did not carry over to this week, where we really struggled tackling, and that's got to be an area that we continue to improve. Just, our physicality, our strength, our tackling, has to be better. So those are all things we need to work on this week. Offensively, another thing that hurt was the 2 fumbles. So ball security is a priority this week and something that we are emphasizing. Then as we look forward to North Alabama, I mean, they're a team coming off their first victory, so they've got some momentum going. I think they got talented guys on both sides of the ball. They've got a number of FBS transfers, a very talented receiver in Kennebrew. The quarterbacks have been playing most recently, number 2, TJ Smith, very athletic, makes plays. So again, we will have another big challenge, especially going on the road, but we're looking forward to, lining up and playing another conference game this week and looking forward to seeing some progress again this week.
All right, we'll open up questions for Coach.
Coach, offensively, you were able to spread the ball around a lot more than you did the previous game with guys that really haven't had a chance to touch the ball before.
Yeah, we did. I mean, it was great to have Shamar Garrett completely healthy. He was explosive in the return game, but getting the ball into his hands, as a receiver, also, getting him some touches in the run game as well. He made plays. So it was big to have him healthy and to get him the ball. You see what he's capable of doing. But some of the other guys too that stepped up. Trinette Estes made some big catches for us. I think Daniel Thomason had one of his best games. Chris Street, other than the 2 fumbles, again was productive in both the pass game and the run game. And then even guys like Bretton Stone and Kona Kroll getting some opportunities really stepped up and took advantage of those opportunities. And again, we have guys banged up again this week. It's just the nature of it this time of year. So again, we're going to need some of those same guys and maybe some others to step up again this week for us.
With Chris Street, not playing in the second half much, was that kind of just a statement like ball security is paramount and you wanted to give those other guys some reps? Take me through that process.
That was part, because a lot of that product came like in the fourth quarter. So we had a chance at that point to get some other guys in like Breton, like Kona Kroll, and those guys capitalized on those opportunities. So we were able to, keep them in and get them some reps. But yes, with Chris did a lot of positive things. But yes, I mean, ball security has to be a real, important thing for us. And that's something we're stressing this week again.
What do you do, Coach, about the tackling? You mentioned the tackling in your opening statement. I know you mentioned the post game the other night. Like, at this part in the season, you're already banged up. Is it something that you just focus on, you talk about, or do you actually, get a little bit more physical in practice?
So we have a certain way that we practice that, hey, when there are opportunities to thud the ball carrier, we're not taking them all the way to the ground. We do that. I mean, when it's a blow up shot, you come from the side, we have to get in position where we are tagging off with two hands on the ball carrier. So we continue to emphasize those things because we feel that, hey, if you put yourself in that position in practice, you're going to be able to be in better position to finish in the game. We also incorporate a lot of tackling drills throughout practice in our individual periods. We do that as a unit defensively. We also drill those things by position. I saw the DBs again this morning working a lot of tackling drills. So it's something we are working on. I thought it was interesting, hearing Nick Saban talk about tackling when, he fielded the question of, hey, what do you do to improve your tackling? And his first response was, you recruit better athletes. And there's some truth to that. I mean, it is athletic ability. I mean, we need to get more athletic. We need to be more physical. We need to get stronger. You can't always do that this time of year. I mean, but yes, we got to work harder in the weight room. We've got to do more to develop this roster, and we've got to continue to build this roster through recruiting. But I also believe that you can really stress those fundamental things and improve those things in practice. And so that's what we can do now. That's what we can control now. And we're going to make sure we work those tackling drills in practice to try to improve to any extent that we can.
One more question from me, Coach, and let the other guys get some questions in here. The quarterback situation, I feel like I ask you about that every week, but Deacon wasn't bad. Did he have a setback, or did Reggie just play good enough you wanted to give him the ball the rest of the second half?
No, Deacon got injured on his very last throw. He got hit and was injured, and then he was not able to get cleared to come back. So again, that's a question for us this week too, of who will be healthy, who will be available at that quarterback position. I thought when Deacon was in, he made some good throws, but then Reggie played well too when he was in there. We would like to have both available, but we'll see how the week goes. We continue to get Luke McPhail reps as well. So we'll see how the week goes, but hopefully we have all three available. But the good thing is all three guys have played in games for us. They all have experience. They all have a good understanding of the offense at this point. So we feel comfortable with all three, just depending on how things work out, medically.
Coach, you said you wanted to get your tight ends more involved, and you tried to get the ball to McEwen on a run and a pass, and then also Eric Olson. He did have a drop, but he showed what he could do after the drop and made a couple of nice catches.
He did. That was a critical drop early, and that's the kind of stuff we've got to fix. We got to get that stuff cleaned up. That's the execution that I'm talking about. But I was pleased with Eric, the way he responded later in the game. He didn't let that bother him. He came back, made some great catches for us and some big plays. And again, just in this offense, our tight ends need to be involved, and we will continue to find ways to get them the football going forward.
Coach, what can you tell us about the protection that the O-line is offering now?
Again, I really feel like those guys on the O-line, they are battling. They are fighting. I mean, we are a little bit physically overmatched, and we've seen that in each of the 5 games that we've played up front. And so we've had some tough matchups. We've had guys in tough positions. It's led to some of those holding calls, things like that. But I do like the way the guys are competing. Coach Keller's working hard with that group. It's just, again, we need to continue to improve, continue to get better.
Coach, the explosive plays, does North Alabama have some guys that can take the top off? I know there was the 76, the 73, the 56 yarders in that last game that really hurt you and set the defense back. Does North Alabama offer some of those same playmaking abilities that Abilene had?
They do have some. And again, a lot of that goes back to tackling. We did have the double move early in the game where, corner had bad eyes, and then we missed the tackle by the middle safety so it turns into a touchdown. So again, tackling will help prevent a lot of that, but they do have some playmakers. I think, the quarterback is very athletic. The running back number 6, Allen, is very athletic. And the receiver I mentioned before, Kennebrew, is also very good. So they've got some athletes that are certainly capable of making those same plays. So for us, it's going to be critical that we play with great eye discipline and that we have to tackle better than what we did last week.
follow up on what Kate was saying with the offensive line. I mean, Jacob Zarate, local kid, true freshman. It seemed like you guys ran behind him a little bit, and you guys did actually open up some holes. Is that something you're going to commit to in the matchup with Alabama, North Alabama, from what you've seen on film? Do you think you can commit to the run?
We're gonna try to run the football the best that we can, and we have to get creative a little bit in terms of how we do that. But to be a balanced offense, to be able to play the complementary football that we would like to play, we have to find ways to run the football. So we will continue to do that. You mentioned a guy like Jacob Zarate that I think is just super talented. He has all of the attributes you would like in an offensive lineman. I mean, he is big, he is athletic, he's got great length. But again, there's a lot of learning that's going on there, and there were a few mistakes. Plus, just him learning to finish and stay on a block. But the more reps he gets, the better he's going to be. And I mean, he's got a big ceiling as an offensive lineman. He has a chance to be really good.
Coach, on the defensive side, Jared Fotu, he looked like he was back 100%, led the team in tackles. And also Jaden Sheridan, even though he did have a late hit, he was very active on the edges as well.
Yeah, those are two of our more physical guys, two of our better tacklers on defense. Yeah, Jared had a full week of practice last week for the first time since the Montana State week. He's been full go in practice this week. So I think the more reps he gets, the more he gets back into just football shape, the better he's going to be. But it's great to have him back. And then, Rod, you're exactly right on Jaden Sheridan. For a DB, he is very physical. He is a sure tackler. I mean, I love the way he plays, his attitude, his physicality. Again, we've just got to clean. Each week he has a few little things we need to clean up. I mean, that personal foul, the late hit was critical. And then when he lost his eyes, early in the game on that first double move for a touchdown, that was a critical play in the game as well, especially being a third down. So those are the little things we need to clean up. But there are a lot of things in his game that I really like.
And Coach, it seems like he was kind of playing angry. Do you like that kind of mentality and wish that more people had it?
Oh, I do. And I think, Jaden just plays with that kind of an attitude, that intensity. Jared brings that a little bit as well. We got some guys up front that play the same way. We need more of that. Now, we need to channel it in the right direction, so we don't have a late hit or a personal foul. But yes, we need more of that. Just that toughness, that physicality, where you're playing a little bit angry, you're playing with that chip on your shoulder. I mean, that's what it requires on defense.
What's been the secret sauce with Quincy LeJay and Rick Maui and some of these guys that weren't playing at all? Now they've worked themselves into not only playing but playing a significant role for you guys. What kind of pride can you take in getting those guys ready so quickly to go out and contribute?
It's a great thing, and they're both young players. With Quincy being a redshirt freshman and Rick being a true freshman. I mean, it took them a little bit of time. So maybe Montana State week they weren't quite ready, but it's just. I mean, it shows their work ethic, their desire to continue to learn and get better. That now it's put them in a position to play for us, and they've been very productive players. And we're going to need more from them going forward.
All right, do we have any more questions for Coach?
One final question, Coach. Is the pressure mounting from your perspective and your assistants? I mean, you guys aren't used to starting the season 0-5. Like, what's the mindset and how important? I know every game's important, but how important is it to finally find that first win? And you got to do it maybe this weekend on the road.
Yeah, I mean, every week. I mean, that is our goal, and we're not trying to look too far down the road or too far ahead. It's just we want to make sure we're doing everything we can throughout the week to put us in a position to win on Saturday. And I really feel like as a coaching staff, I mean, we are committed to building this program, and we know what we need to do. We know it's going to be a process. We know it's going to take a lot of work, but I do feel, especially the players, pressing a little bit. And at times, I think that maybe has led to some of the lack of execution where they're just trying to do a little bit too much, or maybe try to do something different than what we're asking because they want to win so bad. And, we just got to keep reminding them that, hey, it is a process, that we've got to make sure we continue to do the right thing, trust our technique, trust our training. If we do that, it's going to lead to winning football. So yes, I mean, I feel that especially from the players. We feel like we can get that first win under our belt. It might make those guys just relax a little bit, rely now on their training, and just go and play and do what they're coached to do. So yeah, we would love to get one as soon as we can for those reasons.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
That will do it for us. Thanks, Coach, for your time, and we'll see you all on Saturday. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.